Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, reaching for your phone, and nothing. No TikTok, no Instagram. First, let's clear this up. The internet isn't just cat videos and online shopping. It's the invisible glue holding So, what happens in the first few hours? Panic. Pure, unfiltered panic. People would think their Wi-Fi's broken, call their providers, restart their routers. Stock markets would freeze instantly. Trillions of dollars just stuck in limbo. Credit cards? Nope. A TMS? Nope. If you don't have cash on hand, that Starbucks latte isn't happening. Now, let's move into day one. The whole world would suddenly feel like the 1980s. Want to call your mom? Only landlines work. Need directions? Better dust off a paper map. Netflix binge night? Forget it. Grab some DVDs. And younger generations? Well, they'd finally find out what a DVD is. But here's where things get more serious. Planes flying in the sky rely on internet-based navigation and communication. Most have backups, so they wouldn't just fall out of the sky, but air travel would grind to a halt within hours. Same with shipping. Cargo ships wouldn't know where to dock or unload. Global trade? Frozen. By day 2, grocery store shelves start looking empty. Why? Because supply chains depend on the internet. Warehouses, trucking systems, restocking orders, all automated. No internet means no coordination. Even gas stations would run dry, since pumps often connect to online systems for payment and inventory. In week 1 without the internet. Hospitals are still running, but things get messy. Medical equipment works, but digital records vanish. Doctors are scrambling through paper backups if they even exist. Oh, and remember how almost all emergency communication uses internet-based networks? Yeah, and schools? Well, no online classes, no Google Classroom, no Zoom. Students are suddenly back to chalkboards and textbooks. Teachers everywhere breathe a sigh of relief until they realize grading by hand is way worse. So, when does society actually break down? Probably within a couple of weeks. Businesses that rely on online transactions, basically all of them, would collapse. Banks wouldn't be able to transfer money. International trade would stop. Millions of jobs would vanish overnight. And the economy? Well, let's just say the Great Depression would look like a warm-up round. But here comes the big reveal. Humanity wouldn't end. We'd adapt. It would be chaotic, sure, but humans are resourceful. Communities would go back to local systems. Cash, barter, handwritten records, face-to-face communication, things our grandparents knew well. It'd be like being forced to time travel 40 years into the past, but without a choice. And who would thrive the most? Probably people living in rural areas who never fully relied on the internet to begin with. Farmers, small shop owners, people who already live offline, suddenly they're the experts. Meanwhile, tech workers? Let's just say coding skills don't mean much when your computer can't connect to anything. Now here's the twist. Some scientists actually warn that losing the internet, even for just a few days, could cost the world economy trillions of dollars and even risk lives in critical systems. In other words, the internet disappearing wouldn't just be inconvenient, it could be one of the biggest disasters in modern history. But maybe there's a silver lining. Families might talk more. Neighborhoods could get closer. Kids might play outside again. We'd rediscover what life felt like without constant notifications buzzing in our pockets. A world without the internet might not be the end of humanity, but it would definitely be the end of the world as we know it. So, what do you think? Would a world without the internet be a total nightmare or a secret blessing in disguise? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this dive into What If, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell while the internet still exists. Because who knows, tomorrow it